It was a gray dawn in Baghdad, March 20th, 2003. The city, accustomed to the hustle and bustle of markets and the call to prayer at dawn, woke up this time to a strange roar, as if the sky itself had exploded. The windows shook, pictures fell from the walls, and a new phase of history had begun. The phase of invasion. In the Karrada neighborhood, Haider, a 27-year-old man, was watching the sky from the roof of his house. He saw planes flying in flocks like iron crows. At that moment, he realized there was no way back, and that Iraq had entered a long, starless night. In the street, families were running for shelter, children screaming and women praying. Despite the fear, some men had a defiant gleam in their eyes, as if they were fighting even in silence. When the first rocket fell near the neighborhood, Haider rushed to rescue his elderly neighbor, Abu Ali, whose house had collapsed. He picked up the rubble with trembling hands, blood covering his face, but his voice didn't tremble as he said, "We're here to stay, no matter what happens. Iraq will not die." On the third day, American forces entered the outskirts of the city. Tanks rolled slowly like metallic monsters, and sounds filled the air, gunfire, sirens, and people's screams. Haider carried his old rifle, inherited from his father. He wasn't a professional soldier, but he knew he wouldn't stand idly by. He joined a small group of young men fighting from the narrow alleys. Bullets sliced the air above their heads, and the dust choked their breath. With each explosion, the memory burned deeper. One night, Haider hid behind a shattered wall beside his friend Saad, who said with a trembling voice, "If we die, tell my mother that her son wasn't afraid." Haider smiled through his tears and said, "You won't die. We haven't written the end yet." But morning didn't come as he'd hoped. A massive explosion rocked the neighborhood, sending dust flying everywhere. When Haider opened his eyes, his friend's body lay motionless next to him. At that moment, he could hear nothing. Neither the sounds of war nor the screams of people, only a heavy silence, as if time had stopped in respect for the blood of innocents. Days passed, and Baghdad fell. American tanks crossed bridges, and soldiers raised their flags over government buildings. Haider emerged from the rubble and looked around. He saw his beloved city burning. Shops were closed, walls riddled with bullet holes, and children searching for their families amid the rubble. He sat on the sidewalk, staring up at the once blue sky. Then he raised his